Hello and welcome to the Cultured Bumpkin. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. It's Halloween night. We're going to read some American classic literature, and if there are any requests, maybe we'll do so. But we're going to start off with Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, and we're going to do a couple spooky poems. So, including one from the Bible, which is a really interesting poem. Okay, so we're going to start off with The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I heard, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood pleading, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is, I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than uttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore." But the raven, still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then, upon the velvet sinking, I took myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, and my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloated o'er, she shall press, ah, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. "Wretch," I cried, "thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend," I shrieked, upstarting. "Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave thy loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven, a real classic. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. My phone is about to die. I am also streaming this on Janet. Thank you. I'm also on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok and my phone dies, if you want to keep listening, come to YouTube because I'm all plugged in over there. So see, I drew this bird actually, and I drew this little thing, and because I like that poem so much. So let's see, what else have we got? I'm gonna do another let me see. Let's do another Edgar Allan Poe poem. How about Alone? Alone by Edgar Allan Poe. From childhood's hour, I have not been as others were. I have not seen as others saw. I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source, I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Then, in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life, was drawn from every depth of good and ill the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. Edgar Allan Poe, Alone. About Annabel Lee. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted, her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Good deal. I'm glad you liked that one. Yeah, that's such a beautiful poem. I love Annabel Lee. Let's see, where is thinking about? I don't know. Maybe I was thinking of what is it? The Conqueror Worm. Let me see. Let's see. Imperfection. What's going on? Hi to you. Hope you're having a good night. Thanks, Aris Patty. I appreciate that. Have you read The Raven? Yes, Holly, I did. I did read The Raven. Did you miss it? I've loved watching your YouTube lately. I'm so glad you do what you do. Thank you, Colton. I appreciate that. I'm really glad that you are enjoying it. And yeah, usually what I do is when I'm on here, I'm also recording it on that goes up on YouTube. So you can kind of catch the replay over there. So that's cool. And then there's tons of other stuff on there too, long form. I've the Raven, a couple different versions of it on there that I've done. Um, you know, been good. Well, good. I'm glad you're doing good there. Yeah, if you go to my YouTube, one this like this right here will be on the under the live playlist, and then there's also a poetry playlist, and there will be a couple different versions of the Raven. Um, yeah. So okay, Little Tiger. Let me see. And Janet, after we do some spooky stuff, maybe we can read one of yours if that's cool with you. Um, Glad you had a safe trip back. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. I went to my favorite burger place today. I took a 2-hour lunch. Nice. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to know I'm rubbing off on people in a good way. Yeah, if you missed it last night, we sort of talked about burgers for I wouldn't say inappropriate amount of time because it's always appropriate to talk about burgers, but it was, longer than is normally socially acceptable, maybe. Um, okay, so here is, well, first, let's read William Blake's The Tiger. Um, oh, Christina, that's fantastic. And then, oh, and Janet over on YouTube says that she got her a Sonic burger, which is her favorite burger, because of the conversation last night. So the burger industry really, really um, got some business today. So that's great. Maybe, you know what? Someday I would love to get like a burger endorsement, like a burger place. I'll just talk about burgers. Um, yeah, Christina, you should have heard it last night. We talked about burgers for quite a while. Oh, that's I need to go get me a Sonic burger. A Sonic burger is about the only one of the list that we talked about that is within driving distance. Okay, so let's do The Tiger by William Blake, and then we'll do The Little Tiger by H.P. Lovecraft, and that way you can sort of see the similarities. Okay, so here is The Tiger by William Blake. Also, you should go on YouTube and listen to Helen Mirren read this one, The Tiger. She's amazing. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulders and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer? What the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil? What dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? All right, so that's The Tiger by William Blake. Now we'll go to The Little Tiger by H.P. Lovecraft. Little tiger, burning bright with a subtle Blakish light, tell what visions have their home in those eyes of flame and chrome. Children vex thee, thoughtless, gay, holding when thou wouldst away. What dark lore is that which thou, spitting, mixest with thy meow? Very cute. I like that. The ones that have ranch in the patty and cheddar cheese. That's so cool. I love those. Oh, one burger story that I didn't tell last night. And then my phone's about dead and I've got to get off of the phone. But I will continue reading on my YouTube. Links in the bio if you want to join me over there because I'll read some more stuff. But anyway, yeah, look at all those tigers. I was in Minnesota and I always like to eat, local food or, local type of stuff. And there was a Lucy burger. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take the Lucy burger. And I thought it was just, I didn't know what a Lucy burger was. I thought that was just the name of it. I didn't know that it was a patty with molten lava inside it. They couldn't put the cheese on top like a normal person. They had to stick it on the inside so it'll rush out into your mouth and scorch every bit of skin that is there. So if you're ever in Minnesota and you ask for a Lucy burger, get it. Definitely get it. But just know there's boiling lava inside it because they take a block of cheese and put the patty around it and then cook it on the griddle. So when you get it, it's boiling lava in the middle, but you can't tell by looking at it. It looks like a burger. Careful. Be careful out there. Dangerous. I mean, and it was, well, I think it was delicious. I couldn't tell because my mouth was numb, but I'm pretty sure it was really good. I would definitely get another one, but I would be much more careful. So be careful in Minnesota because they'll get you. Yeah. Delicious for sure. Yeah, so I am about to get off here because my phone's dead, dying. I'm still going over on YouTube if you want to join me. But if not, I will see you later. Thanks for joining. Yes, be warned. Be careful out there with those Lucy burgers. Good night. All right. Let us see. Okay, so back to the reading. Here's El Dorado. I like this one. This one was on the movie El Dorado with John Wayne, and James Caan reads this one or quotes it, I don't know, a few times in the movie. So this is the first time that I ever heard that one. This one was when I was a kid watching John Wayne. El Dorado by Edgar Allan Poe. Gaily bedight, a gallant knight, in sunshine and in shadow, had journeyed long, singing a song in search of El Dorado. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and o'er his heart a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like El Dorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim shadow. Shadow, said he, where can it be, this land of El Dorado? Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow. Ride, boldly ride, the shade replied, if you seek for El Dorado. Old El Dorado. It's Halloween. Why didn't you dress up? I mean, I don't really have anything to dress up as. What did you dress up as? I mean, I have goofy tendencies, but I'm a full-grown man. I don't know. Didn't really didn't really cross my mind to do that. But I live way out in the country, like, no one would see me anyway. Oh, let's see. It to Isidore. I like this one. To Isidore. Hmm. I was medieval. Nice. Okay. Hey, if somebody makes you, you got to do it. And good deal. Glad to put a face to the name. All right. So this one is to Isidore. Uh, well, maybe not. I thought it was. All right. I'll read. I think I found it in the book. Here we go. Okay. To Isidore by Edgar Allan Poe. Beneath the vine-clad eaves, whose shadows fall before thy lowly cottage door, under the lilac's tremulous leaves, within thy snowy clasped hand, the purple flowers it bore. Last eve in dreams I saw thee stand, like queenly nymphs from fairyland, enchantress of the flowery wand, most beauteous Isidore. And when I bade the dream upon thy spirit flee, thy violet eyes to me upturned did overflowing seemed with the sleep untold delight of love's serenity. Thy classic brow, like lilies white and pale as the imperial night upon her throne, with stars bedight, enthralled thy soul to thee. Ah, ever I behold thy dreamy, passionate eyes, blue as the languid skies, hung with the sunset's fringe of gold. Now strangely clear thine image grows, and old memories are startled from their long repose like shadows on the silent snows, when suddenly the night wind blows where quiet moonlight lies. Like music heard in dreams, like strain of harps unknown, of birds forever flown, audible as the voice of streams that murmur in some leafy dell, I hear thy gentlest tone, and silence cometh with her spell, like that which on my tongue doth dwell, when tremulous in dreams I tell my love to thee alone. In every valley heard, floating from tree to tree, less beautiful to me, the music of the radiant bird, than artless accents such as thine, whose echoes never flee. Ah, how for thy sweet voice I pine, for uttered in thy tones benign, enchantress, this rude name of mine doth seem a melody. To Isidore by Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah, if you're enjoying the live, I hope that you'll hit the old like button. That like I've always heard of people saying it really helps when you hit the like button, and I've been like, okay, whatever. It actually does. Like it bumps the little algorithm, and it makes YouTube, because YouTube's like a little butler. So it's like, oh, people are liking this. Let's take it to somebody else. Like, oh, sir, ma'am, would you like to have some poetry? And then anyway, and when you like it, it like it just pushes it out a little more. So if you like this and push the like button, I certainly appreciate it. But you don't have to. This is America, baby. Do what you want. But it's always good. It's always good to have you. Let's see. I think we're all caught up. Did we catch Oh, there's a place in, there's a ghost story, in the Bible that's very interesting. You know, whether you like the Bible or not, Eris Patty, this is an interesting story, okay? Oh, I think it's in First Samuel. Okay, let's see. First Samuel. Yeah, you like that. First Samuel 28. Okay, so for a little backstory, in ancient Israel, it was against the law to practice witchcraft, right? And it was like the death penalty for practicing witchcraft. um, but there was a king named Saul, and he had disobeyed God. So the Bible says he disobeyed God, and God quit fellowshipping with him, talking with him. So he was like, "Well, nobody will listen to me." So he went and he found this, like, black market witch, basically. All right. So he was desperate to talk. He couldn't talk to God, so he was going to go talk to uh, the prophet Samuel, who had died. So this was a necromancer, and so he was going to go talk to her, and he was going to be disguised because she would be like, "Hey, you're the king. It's against the law. You're just trying to trick me. All that kind of stuff." So he's in disguise, and he's going to find this witch to try and get her to connect him with Samuel. And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare to fight with Israel. And Achish said unto David, "Know thou assuredly that thou shalt go with me to the battle, thou and thy men." And David said to Achish, "Surely thou shalt know what thy servant can do." And said to David, Achish said, "Therefore will I make thee keeper of mine head forever." Now Samuel was dead. That's the prophet. And all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul, that's the king, had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. So he had killed or exiled everyone that practiced witchcraft to his knowledge. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. Now, when it says Philistines, that's loosely the Palestinians of today, and then Saul is Israel today. So anytime someone is like, "Oh, here, what we ought to do," um, the um, it's like a thousands of year old thing. So, like an American president that thinks he's gonna like pencil whip a thing and um, you know, bring peace. That's just not gonna happen. Okay, so the okay, when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams nor by Urim. That's the stones, like the seer stones, nor by prophets. Then said Saul unto his servants, "Seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her." And his servants said to him, "Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor." And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went and two men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, "I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee." And the woman said unto him, "Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die?" She's like, "What is this, a sting operation?" And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, "As the Lord liveth." That's quite a quite a thing to say. There shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Samuel, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he's covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I'm sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets, nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Remember, Saul had not killed these people that he was supposed to kill. These people that were all into like some rough stuff. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. Whew. And the Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Saul. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all day nor all night. And the woman came unto Saul, and saw that he was sore troubled. And she said unto him, Behold, thine handmaid hath obeyed thy voice, and I have put my life in my hand, and have hearkened unto thy words, which thou spakest unto me. And now therefore I pray thee, hearken thou also unto the voice of thine handmaid, and let me set a morsel of bread before thee, and eat, that thou mayest have strength when thou goest on thy way. But he refused, and said, I will not eat. But his servants together with the woman compelled him, and he hearkened unto their voice. So he arose from the earth, and sat upon the bed. And the woman had a fat calf in the house, and she hasted and killed it, and took flour and kneaded it, and did bake unleavened bread thereof. And she brought it before Saul, and before his servants, and they did eat. Then they rose up, and went away that night. So that is the story of the Witch of Endor, a very creepy story right out of the Bible. Okay, Eris Patty says, my brother and I had a costume contest. The theme was Jesus. I'm pretty sure we reserved our spot in hell. Well, you already have a spot reserved in hell, and I'll tell you why. John chapter 3, he that believeth not is condemned already. So you are going to be there with the hypocrites that go to church all their life and thought that by working their way into heaven, they could be right with God. So you already had your spot in hell before the costume contest, according to John. I've read the Bible. I hope you're not explaining it for my benefit. No, absolutely not. I'm explaining it for anybody, because this is going on, YouTube. So it'll be up permanent like a video. So somebody a year from now might be watching this. Who knows? So I'm just kind of putting it in context. But also it's a good refresher, because I explained some stuff to you, and I did. Okay, very loose. Saul murdered these people for God. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, dope. I don't use YouTube Live. Well, I mean, that's fine. This is going on YouTube Live, though, is what I'm saying. So, reason why I'm giving context, like I do with tons of historical readings that I do on here. This is going up as a video, so it might be a year or two from now. Someone will be coming along and, be able to follow it a little better. So that's all that was. Okay. What else we got? Enigma, Edgar Allan Poe. I like this one, I think, if it's what I'm thinking of. Okay, Enigma. The noblest name in allegory's page, the hand that traced inexorable rage, a pleasing moralist whose page refined displays the deepest knowledge of the mind, a tender poet of a foreign tongue, indicted in the language that he sung, a bard of brilliant but unlicensed page, at once the shame and glory of our age, the prince of harmony and sterling sense, the ancient dramatist of eminence, the bard that paints imagination's powers, and him whose song revives departed hours. Once more an ancient tragic bard recall, in boldness of design surpassing all, these names, when rightly read, a name make known, which gathers all their glories in its own. Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That yes, you can. So it's going up. So a year from now, someone can see that you dressed up like Jesus for Halloween. Now all the whole world knows if they come in here. Well, if you don't want him to do it, just quit coming. No, it'll be a fun memory for both of us. We can go back and laugh years from now. When you come down for a visit and I take you to get that awesome fried chicken Sammy at the old local sandwich place, which is, I mean, I think just because Chick-fil-A's are so numerous, you'd almost have to use that as a reference point, like on a scale of like Chick-fil-A, if Chick-fil-A is a 5, where is this? Um, you'll be okay. There's so many people in Congress right now that have done the same thing. It's not you're gonna be totally fine. Um, but this is like the best chicken sandwich I've ever had. So you'll have to come and I'll treat you. My treat. Magnolias at the Ritz, West Point, Mississippi. Okay, where are we? Oh, Janet. Janet, are you still in here? Maybe a poem of Janet's if she is still in the old clubhouse here. Okay, nice. Do you have one that you prefer that you want me to read? Let me pull it up. I'm pulling on my email right now. So, you know, to anyone listening, any writers, any poets, whether it's now or you're catching the live at a later date, this message is for you. Email me. Here's my email. And, I know it's fun to listen to other people read your stuff, and I just might be the one to read your stuff on a live. You can hear it, through somebody else. And then, yeah, so that's what we're doing here. We're going to read Janet's poetry. All right, let's see. Let's see. Well, I'm having a tough time here. My little email is being nice and slow, so sorry about that. I am looking for email with the Poem minutes. Yeah, sorry I'm taking so long here. Okay, here we go. Let's do this one. Maybe if I can zoom in on it. Okay. So this is, well, first line is nature hears my call. So maybe that's, I don't know what your title is, but that's what we'll call it. Nature Hears My Call by Janet Scarborough. Nature hears my call, the deep green silence of the trees. Summer is taking hold, the blowing of the breeze, feeling deeply, going lightly, transforming my inner space, bees in the trees, immersing myself in a dream, carrying a light energy body. Flowers find a new life. Clouds wear distant colors like ornaments. Rain on rose petal cheeks. Receptive, vulnerable heart. Life unfolding, blooming. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like that a lot. Let's try this one. Okay. Wandering. It's the first word by Janet Scarborough. Wandering by brooks, lakes, and streams, backdrop of trees gilded with sunlight, beauty pleasing my eyes, bees, butterflies, and beetles dipping and diving, expanding intricacies of the heart, heart's treasure chest of memories, the highs and lows of life. Nature hears my blessing, tears. Nature hears my blessings, tears, and fears. Sparrow kisses the palm of my hand, feeling it all the mind, feeling all the mind, the heart, seasons coming, seasons going. Beautiful. So yeah, that is these are by the Red Rose Poetess in the chat here. So in case you're wondering, in case you're watching or you're on the live later, the Red Rose Poetess is the author of the last two beautiful poems. And here we'll do one more. I got the agree right here. Purple, warm, embracing mist. The storm rumbles and roars. Bird songs flutter like magic. To see things differently. Seeing clearly through the fog. Strong, magical eagle gliding, soaring, speaking with the rhythm of my heart. Frog hops from log to log. Melancholy sings its lullaby. The solace of my soul connects with nature. Beautiful. Great job. Those are beautiful, Janet. Great job. Well, you're very welcome. Thank you for sharing your lovely poetry with us. That's great. And yeah, again, like I said, if you are, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, wasn't that good? That was beautiful. I love the, kind of reminds me of some of Emily Dickinson's work. How, just sort of like stream of consciousness. I love that. I really love that. Um, let's see. few more minutes. To the river, Edgar Allan Poe. Fair river, in thy bright, clear flow of crystal wandering water, thou art an emblem of the glow of beauty, the unhidden heart, the playful maziness of art in old Alberto's daughter. But when within thy wave she looks, which glistens then and trembles, why then the prettiest of brooks her worshipper resembles. For in his heart, as in thy stream, her image deeply lies, his heart which trembles at the beam of her soul-searching eyes. Well, oh, never mind. Okay, that was it. Yeah, that's, I think, a narrator who likes literature and great writers make great teams. Me and Janet make a great team. So here is another Poe piece, A Dream. In visions of the dark night, I have dreamed of joy departed, but a waking dream of life and light hath left me broken-hearted. Ah, when it is not joy, what is not a dream by day to him whose eyes are cast on things around him, with a ray turned back upon the past? That holy dream, while all the world were chiding, hath cheered me as a lovely beam, a lonely spirit guiding. What though light through storm and night so trembled from afar? What could be there more purely bright, in truth's a star? Helen, or to Helen. Helen, thy beauty is to me like those Nicean barks of yore that gently o'er a perfumed sea the weary, way-worn wanderer bore to his own native shore. On desperate seas, long wont to roam thy hyacinth hair, thy classic face, thy naiad airs have brought me home to the glory that was Greece and the grandeur that was Rome. Lo, in yon brilliant window niche, how statue-like I see thee stand, the agate lamp within thy hand, ah, Psyche, from the region which our holy land. I'm thinking of doing like a little short story, but I'm not positive. The Enthusiast. Let's see if I can pull that up. Okay, Herman Melville, The Enthusiast. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. Shall hearts that beat no base retreat in youth's magnanimous years? Ignoble hold it, if discreet, when interest tames to fears. Shall spirits that worship light perfidious deem its sacred glow, recant and trudge where of the mart? Shall faith abjure her skies, or pale probation blench her down to shrink from truth so still, so lone, mid loud gregarious lies? Each burning boat in Caesar's rear flames, no return through me. No, so put the torch to ties, though dear, if ties but tempters be, nor cringe if come to light, walk through the cloud to meet the pall. Though light forsake thee, never fall from fealty to light. Well, it was great seeing you, brother. You have a great night. I love Mel. I just read Moby Dick for the first time, and I really like Melville. I'm a big fan now. So, um, yeah, definitely, we'll definitely do that. And thanks. I've never read that poem either. That's really cool. So, much love to you too, brother. Take care. Have a burger. Okay, let me see. All right. I'm going to read this one by Chris Rice. I will build my cabin on a river with a westward porch to wink goodnight to the yawning sun in his purple bedclothes. I will pass those star-clobbered evenings reading the river's moon sparkle, hearing her sing all her gurgled secrets. I will still be perched on my wooden chair when the sun reawakens in golden robes to the bright morning chatter of house wrens. I will waste those lazy days pondering how time is like a river, or maybe it is not. I will not be certain if time brings the future to us from upstream, or if time carries us downstream toward it. Are we fixed here on her banks while she rushes over us, through us, to siphon this moment into the past somewhere around the next bend? Or are we the ones borne along on her currents, like canoes, aimed and bobbing toward the impatient future? Whether time carries us or flows through us, it doesn't matter to me. I will build my cabin on a river. Isn't that great? Beautiful. Here's another one by Chris Rice. Widen. Create, rearrange the molecules of the already astounding universe. Your notes, your lines, and your strokes spill out your awe of it and hint at beauties you can never outdo. But try anyway. At least mimic as offerings of flattery. Would Wolfgang or William have ever surmised the strength of rolling time to bear them entangled down centuries' halls? Atop boiling oceans, onto alien shores, through electric skies, into minds and ears and eyes of numberless other breathing masterpieces. Create, I say, and I will widen because of it. Yeah, Chris Rice is an incredible poet and lyricist. Here is one by William Butler Yeats called Man and the Echo. In a cleft that's christened Alt, under broken stone I halt, at the bottom of a pit that broad noon has never lit, and shout a secret to the stone. All that I have said and done, now that I am old and ill, turns into a question till I lie awake night after night and never get the answers right. Did that play of mine send out certain men the English shot? Did words of mine put too great strain on that woman's reeling brain? Could my spoken words have checked that whereby a house lay wrecked? And all seems evil until I sleepless would lie down and die. Lie down and die. Yeah, these are cool. They're nice and comfy. I think you would like them. The I just set up. I just set up the shop. I really haven't, and I've still posted. I've still got some things to post. But if you look at, let's see, go here, then you ought to be able to see kind of what's available if you want to. You bet. You bet. Here is Towards Break of Day. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I have a couple other like different colors on there too, but I like kind of athletic gray is one of my favorite things. And yeah, I like it's kind of special since I drew it. So yeah. Okay, Towards Break of Day, William Butler Yeats. Was it the double of my dream, the woman that by me lay dreamed? Or did we have a dream under the first cold gleam of day? I thought, there is a waterfall upon Ben Bulben's side that all my childhood counted dear. Were I to travel far and wide, I could not find a thing so dear. My memories had magnified so many times childish delight. I would have touched it like a child, but knew my finger could but have touched cold stone and water. I grew wild, even accusing heaven, because it had set down among its laws nothing that we love over so much is ponderable to our touch. I dreamed towards break of day that cold blown spray in my nostril, and she that beside me lay had watched in bitterer sleep. The marvelous stag of Arthur, that lofty white stag, leap from mountain, steep to steep. All right, well, here is The Comparison by Catullus. The crowd of beauteous Quintia prate. To me she is but fair and straight. So far I can comply. Those stated charms her form displays, but still the general praise of beauteous I deny. No grain of sprightliness or grace in all her loft form we trace. I, Lesbia, beauteous call, who stealing from the lovely host the separate charms each fair could boast, herself united all. It's The Comparison by Catullus. Yeah, there really is. There really is. Here's a John Clare poem that I really like. It's not really a Halloween poem. A lot of these haven't been, but I like it. First Love by John Clare. I ne'er was struck before that hour with love so sudden and so sweet. Her face, it bloomed like a sweet flower and stole my heart away complete. My face turned pale as deadly pale. My legs refused to walk away. And when she looked, what could I ail? My life and all seemed turned to clay. And then my blood rushed to my face and took my eyesight quite away. The trees and bushes round the place seemed midnight at noonday. I could not see a single thing. Words from my eyes did start. They spoke as chords do from the string, and blood burnt round my heart. Are flowers the winter's choice? Is love's bed always snow? She seemed to hear my silent voice, not love's appeals to know. I never saw so sweet a face as that I stood before. My heart hath left its dwelling place and can return no more. First Love, John Clare. Wasn't that good? I like John Clare. Here is The Orange by Wendy Cope. At lunchtime, I bought a huge orange. The size of it made us all laugh. I peeled and shared it with Robert and Dave. They got quarters, and I had a half. And that orange, it made me so happy, as ordinary things often do. Just lately, the shopping, a walk in the park, this peace and contentment, it's new. The rest of the day was quite easy. I did all the jobs on my list and enjoyed them and had some time over. I love you. I'm glad I exist. The Orange by Wendy Cope. Yeah, that was a really good one. I'd like to know the backstory too. You don't really need one, I guess, but I always like them. Here's To Celia by Ben Jonson. Drink to me only with thine eyes, and I will pledge with mine, or leave a kiss but in the cup, and I'll not look for wine. The thirst that from the soul doth rise doth ask a drink divine, but might I of Jove's nectar sup, I would not change for thine. I sent thee late a rosy wreath, not so much honoring thee as giving it a hope that there it could not be withered be. But thou thereon didst only breathe, and sent'st it back to me, since when it grows and smells, I swear not of itself, but thee. That was Ben Jonson, To Celia. All right, let's try to do at least one more spooky one. Yeah, I like that one. Isn't that good? I don't know, spooky-ish. I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. This one doesn't have very many spooky ones. When you like want one, can't find it. Okay, well, thank you for that vote of confidence. This is not spooky, but it does mention death, but in a positive way. So maybe you know, maybe that's Halloweeny enough. Sarah Teasdale, I shall not care. When I am dead, and over me bright April shakes out her rain-drenched hair, though you should lean above me broken-hearted, I shall not care. I shall have peace, as leafy trees are peaceful when rain bends down the bough, and I shall be more silent and cold-hearted than you are now. I shall not care, Sarah Teasdale. I don't know what we can do. We'll finish off with The Conqueror Worm by Edgar Allan Poe. That was a marvelous poem. That was a really good one. Okay, The Conqueror Worm by Edgar Allan Poe. Good. I'm so glad. So glad you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I loved reading your poetry. I loved reading this other stuff, interacting with everybody. It's been a great night. All right, The Conqueror Worm by Edgar Allan Poe. Lo, 'tis a gala tonight within the lonesome latter years. An angel throng, bewinged, bedight in veils and drowned in tears, sit in a theater to see a play of hopes and fears, while the orchestra breathes fitfully the music of the spheres. Mimes in the form of God on high mutter and mumble low, and hither and thither fly. Mere puppets they, who come and go at bidding of vast, formless things that shift the scenery to and fro, flapping from out their condor wings invisible woe. That motley drama, oh, be sure it shall not be forgot, with its phantom chased forevermore by a crowd that seized it not, through a circle that ever returneth in, through a circle that ever returneth in to the self-same spot, and much of madness and more of sin and horror the soul of the plot. But see, amid the mimic rout, a crawling shape intrude, a blood-red thing that writhes from out the scenic solitude. It writhes with mortal pangs, the mimes become its food, and seraphs sob at vermin fangs and human gore imbued. Out, out are the lights, out all, And over each quivering form, the curtain, a funeral pall, comes down with the rush of a storm, while the angels, all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling, affirm that the play is the tragedy, man, and its hero, the conqueror worm. That was a good finish. Edgar Allan Poe, the conqueror worm. So yeah, if there are no good, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Glad you enjoyed that. So unless there are any other requests, I guess I'll get going. So I have really enjoyed reading tonight, as I always do. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will whenever you're watching this. And yeah, thank you for watching this far. And I hope you have a great rest of Halloween night, if it's still Halloween where you are. And I hope you have a great November. So be good, Janet. Good night. Good night to all. Talk to you soon.